Stay tuned for the Joan Quinn Profiles. Joan served the state of California as a member on the Arts Council and on the Film Commission. She was formerly on the Architectural Commission and fulfilled 2 terms on the Fine Arts Commission for the city of Beverly Hills. As an editor for Andy Warhol's Interview magazine, Condé Nast Publications, and the Hearst Corporation, Joan covered the world of fashion, the mysteries of food, the excitement of theater, and the international art scene. She continues to find people who are on the cutting edge of their professions. Here's Joan Quinn.
Hi, I'm Joan Quinn, and welcome to the Joan Quinn Profiles. We're taping here at the Hollywood Museum in the historic Max Factor building on Highland Avenue and Hollywood Boulevard. And our guests today are composer Satish Thaianban and actress, director, producer Trupti Bhor. Composer Satish Thaianban was born and raised in Madras, India. He went to school there, and then he went to the Berklee School in Boston. He's composed music, original music for film, TV, and the stage. And welcome, Satish.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
How did you decide to be a composer? Were you always in music?
Actually, my dad's a composer.
Ah.
So I'm actually second generation.
And then why did you go to engineering school?
Because science and music are 2 passions from childhood. So I wanted to do I was still deciding between doing some research and music.
But did your father influence you?
A lot, yeah.
And what was he doing in his music career?
He was a film composer as well. And he did a lot of television work as well. But he had 2 professions as well. He was a banker during the day.
He was?
and then he moonlighted as a composer.
And so how did he actually, did he write music for the popular singers, or was it just for for stage?
Well, actually, film music in India, and all Indian films are musicals, right? So
it seems like it, is
yeah.
it?
So yeah, it is, and you need to be able to do both songs as well as the score for the film.
So you have to write like a popular song?
Yeah, you gotta do the popular songs. Indian popular songs are all from movies.
Oh.
We don't have popular music apart from.
Oh, you don't have singers. You don't have.
We don't have the independent singer.
Concert singers.
No.
Do they do concert?
Yeah, the popular singers from the films, they do a lot of performances. The other kind of music that's independent of cinema, that would be Indian classical music or folk, folk music. No, I don't do that. But there are singers who do that separately.
Did your father write classical music? Was he more?
Yeah, my father was classically trained in the South Indian classical music system.
And
yes.
so he did all of his training in India?
He did all of his training there.
And what about you? Did you do that kind of training there?
I actually learned a lot by experience by just watching my dad work. He felt that I should be trained in one particular system properly, so I studied classical piano actually.
Oh, you did?
So I studied the classical system.
So when you compose, you use the piano?
Yeah, as my main tool. Yeah, yep, that is.
And
true.
can you play other instruments?
I can play a little bit of guitar, but
not. That's it, really, just the
that's
piano?
It. But I'm more of a singer, and I.
Oh, you are.
Yes, I trained myself a little bit when I was at Berklee. I studied with a wonderful opera singer called Robin Ginenthal, who is very famous in the Boston classical music, circuit. And she was my ear training teacher at Berklee, and then she took me on as a singing student as well, and she trained my voice.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Did you sing in India, or did you just wait till you got to Boston?
No, I was singing in India. I owe that to my piano teacher in India. She had this rule where all her piano students had to sing in the choir. So I actually started singing in the choir.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. Then why didn't you go on and have a musical career? In that respect, in a singing career.
A singing career. Well, when I studied at Berklee, I came to Berklee specifically to do songwriting.
So why did you end up at Berklee? Because there's wonderful schools all around the U.S.
Well, Berklee is the only one with a curriculum for studying songwriting, even in the U.S.
Is that right?
Yeah, there are 441 music schools in the U.S., but Berklee is the only one with a songwriting curriculum.
And what do they teach you specifically that you can't learn at other schools?
Well, the Berklee is basically a jazz school, so they teach you jazz fundamentals. as far as the harmony and the arrangement goes. But then when it comes to specifically songwriting, you take masters, like John Lennon or Stevie Wonder, and then you study their technique.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And they break that down?
They break that down.
And then is it a certain way that you write music? I mean, on a score, do you use a computer? What do you do?
Well, we are trained to write by hand. We make lead sheets, yeah. But then, yeah, you can do it on the computer as well these days. Yes.
Did you use the computer?
A lot, a lot.
You use it now. Did you use it when you were in school?
Of course, a lot. Yeah,
Oh, you did
yeah.
as well.
Yes.
And so, as far as songwriting, that's one course you take.
Yes, that's
and then
one course.
what else do you take?
Well,
You took singing.
I took singing, and there's a basic piano course. Everybody needs to have an instrument at Berkeley, and mine was the piano.
I see.
So you study piano, and then I also studied a little bit of sound engineering along with that.
But did that go back to your engineering, or does it?
No.
Is there no?
It has no relationship with each
So
other.
what happens with the engineering degree that you got?
Well, it basically just gave me a lot of general knowledge, I should say. It prepared me for the world, I should say. The college was very nice in that way. Yeah.
In that way, but did you think you were going to come out and teach engineering? What would you do with that?
Well, I was always passionate about science, so I learned a lot about science. But then how it helped me was when I came to Berkeley, it got me the best student job at Berkeley.
So when you worked your way through school?
So that I could work my way through school.
Doing, what were you doing?
I used to work in the computer department. I used to install computers for greats like Gary Burton. You know, he's the dean of Berkeley College of Music.
Oh, you did? So they had a really good guy there working.
Yeah.
So once you started, once you finished there,
Yeah.
then where did you go? Did you stay in Boston?
No, I went back to India and I started doing I started doing contracts for Disney in India.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
What was Disney doing there?
Disney has a very big presence in India nowadays, and they do a lot of their animation in Indian regional languages. So I applied my songwriting skills there. I translate Disney songs into Indian regional languages.
And how many regional languages do you speak?
Well, Disney translates into like 3 of the big Indian regional languages.
And what would they be?
Hindi, Tamil, and Telugu. Telugu.
Telugu.
Yeah.
And so, and you speak those languages?
I speak Tamil and Telugu. I'm a little bit conversant with Hindi, so I make do.
So, but then you have to translate.
Yeah, I don't do the lyric writing myself. I write in Tamil, and I have a translator for Telugu and Hindi. But then, there's voice casting and vocal production.
Oh, so do you do that?
Yeah, and the arrangements, the vocal arrangements have to be recreated from manuscript.
Well, so tell me the process. It comes to you, a Disney film, right? Just like it's made here,
Yeah,
a
yeah.
cartoon or whatever.
Yeah.
A cartoon, would it be?
Animation series, yeah.
An animation,
Yeah.
animation. And then it comes to you, and then what do you do with it?
Well, it comes along with a lead sheet for the song. Every song has a manuscript written out with the lyrics in it.
But there's no, the animation, you don't do anything with that person talking.
Oh, that is a separate department.
That's what I
Dubbing is a
wondered.
separate department
I
from the
see.
music. Yeah,
I
yeah.
see. So it comes with a lead sheet.
Comes with a lead sheet, so we basically have to cast a new voice, a new singer in India to match the original voice.
So how do you do that? You audition?
We audition people and send it back to Burbank here in Los Angeles.
And they have to approve it?
And they have to approve it, yes. And then it comes back to us, and then we have to use that voice.
And is it easy to match the voice?
Sometimes not. Like, for instance, Donald Duck is the most difficult one to do.
Is it?
Yeah. It's very
But
difficult.
you have to do Donald's voice?
Well, yeah, to find a singer to do that is very difficult, actually. To find somebody who can do justice to the voice as well as the tune, it's very difficult.
And what about time restraints? Do you have deadlines on it?
Oh, a lot. It's stuck. It goes by the broadcast schedule, so it's like many sleepless nights sometimes.
So you have to get it done right away?
You have to get it done. Do that.
So are we talking about screen or TV?
TV.
TV. Okay, you also compose for
films.
For films.
Yes,
And
yes.
what kind of films?
Well, I do regional films. I do Tamil and Telugu films as of now.
And what does that mean? They just stay in their own region?
Yeah,
They stay in their own cities? What cities are those?
Well, it's actually not cities. It's actually states. And the
States.
states are bigger than England. So.
Oh, they are? Those states are that big?
Yeah, they're huge. Yes, yes. So it's like a little country unto itself.
So is that the name of the state where they
Tamil
speak
Nadu.
Tamil?
Tamil Nadu is the name of.
And the other one?
The other one would be called Andhra Pradesh.
Oh, it is.
Yes.
And then are there large cities in those places?
There are large cities, and then there are really like 100 theaters or 150 theaters.
You're kidding.
Yeah, I'm not kidding. Cinema is the biggest pastime in
And
India.
it continues to be.
It continues to be. And not just that, and we have expatriates living all over the world, so we have a huge international market.
I was going to ask you about that. Is it the same, like if you translated that Disney for TV, could that be sent to someplace else, to the diaspora where other people are living? Or
No.
it just stays there?
No. As far as the Disney Channel goes, they broadcast only in India,
They
the
only
regional
do that.
languages, yes. But I'm not aware if they broadcast internationally. or not.
But films they do.
Films they do, yeah. Films have a huge international distribution network. For instance, in Los Angeles, if you would say, there is an email list of 5,000 Tamil families who live in Los Angeles.
Really?
5,000, yes. So when a Tamil film comes here, there's a friend of ours who sends an email, an email out to his email
That he's
list.
coming?
That
Or
it's
the
coming.
film is here?
And then he distributes Tamil films here, yes. His name is Sam Bhaskar, and he's very successful at doing it here in LA. Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. So it's a small industry. It's an underground industry in a way. So what films have you composed for?
Well, I've done 2 Tamil films till now. My third one just released.
Tell us the names of those.
The first one was called Leelai, and the second one was called Kanimori, and the third one was called Nere. It's just about to release.
And
next week.
what are the stories?
The first one was a romantic comedy. It was based on with the IT industry of India as the backdrop, because IT is very big. The computer industry is very big in India.
And was the backdrop?
That was the backdrop.
And then
of
what kind of
romance.
music do you write for that?
Well, that was mostly pop, and it was like romantic ballads and.
But all original.
All original, yes, of course.
And then the next one?
And the next one was called Kanimori. That was more like it was more like a diary of a young boy, So it was more introspective, and it was a little bit more serious compared to the first one.
And what kind of tone would it take?
Well,
A young boy, would it be?
Young boy. He actually writes his kind of like it is like a dream that he writes in his diary, and in the film, the viewer is not aware which is the dream and which is reality. So it's a love story like that.
And so his music plays all through? Do
Yeah.
they sing? Do you write lyrics too?
Yes,
You
I
do?
Yeah, I do.
You write the lyrics too?
Yeah.
And the last one that's...
The last one is a thriller that's just about to come out.
So
Yeah.
what is that? Boom, 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 boom
No,
music?
it's not. It's actually much more introspective and
Is
much
it?
more subtle. Yeah.
Very subtle?
Very subtle. It's a love story, but a thriller. So, it has both.
So would your main characters be singing your lyrics, or somebody else sings the lyrics?
Well, the main characters would be singing the lyrics, actually. And but then the thing is that in India, we don't use the actors themselves to sing the song.
Interesting. What do you do?
We have some people called playback singers who come into the studio and whose specialty is to just sing the song.
And do you find them? Would you find them?
No, we already have really popular ones.
Oh, you do? So it's the same people come back?
Same people. Actually, there is this very young girl called Shreya Ghoshal. So she's like the most famous singer all over India. She sings all the best songs in whatever language they might be, whether they be in Hindi or Tamil or Telugu, whether it's for a newcomer like me or whether it's for Academy Award winner A.R. Rahman. She sings for a lot of people.
She's done Oscar work?
Yeah,
She's sung in Oscar films?
Yeah, she's very famous, and she's like really good, really great.
And where does she live?
She lives in Bombay.
So she comes back and forth to wherever you're working?
Well, my studio is now in Bombay. So
Oh, it is. It is.
Yeah.
And then from there, is that a big source of celebrities coming there?
As far as singing talent goes, a lot of composers in India use the talent out of Bombay because there are some wonderful singers there. Yes.
And then do they make all the films there too?
No, we don't. The film industries are located in the different states. Wherever
So whenever
region.
the music has to come, the film comes to Bombay.
Yeah, just for the music sessions. Yes. And vice versa. Like the Bombay composers come to Chennai just for the strings orchestra when they want a good orchestra for playing.
So things are
There's
different.
very collaborative between the different cities. Yes.
Why didn't you ever go into opera then?
Well, there's not much of an opera
In India?
In India.
Is that why?
Yeah.
Well, we should have kept you in the U.S.
Would have loved that. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Joan. Thanks for having me.
Don't go away. We'll be right back with Trupti Bhor. Hi, I'm Joan Quinn, and welcome back to the Joan Quinn Profiles. We're here at the Hollywood Museum in the historic Max Factor building, and I'm with actress Trupti Bhor, who was born and raised in Mumbai, and I knew it when I was there as Bombay, so I'll ask her about it, and immediately started working in the theater after high school. winning awards with some of the biggest theater companies. She went out on her own as a producer, as an actor in films and TV. And during your college studies, were you still working and acting?
Yeah, I didn't go to college, but I'm acting and producing a film.
So how did you get started? You didn't come from any kind of background like that.
No, actually, in high school, I was participate in a theater, and I won a Best Actress award for state level, and then I understand that maybe I can do this thing. Maybe I had that kind.
Were you musical? Could you sing? Did you sing in high school?
No, no, I'm a dancer, and I did drama on theater.
So were you taking dancing lessons?
No,
It's
didn't.
natural.
Yeah,
it's everything's natural.
Yeah, I didn't learn anything actually.
So where did you learn your producing skills? Because when you started acting, you started producing your own things too.
Actually, when after my divorce, when I come to struggle in this line, film industry, that time I understand that as a woman, you don't get that respect from the men-shaving society, and everyone is look at you like very badly, and I feel that I came here for doing something for my art. I want to do something as artist, and I don't want to I don't want to go and sleep anyone and
To get ahead.
Yeah, to get some work and like that. So
But is that what happens in?
yeah, it's exactly, it's a very open business, and when I feel that no, I have to do something to come out from this, I will produce one movie and I'll work in that, and I will work in a very respectable.
So what was your first movie? Hello, Jail?
My first movie is Tujha Majha Samsarala Ani काय Hava, which is I did in 2007.
And what was that about?
It's about one husband and wife, how they survive.
How they survive?
Yeah, and they are the farmers.
Oh.
And how they survive, and
Did you act in it?
yeah.
Okay,
I
and then the next one was?
Next one was Agadbam, which was I am a 250 kilo woman.
I know. How did you do that? You act,
Yeah.
What is it called? Agabam?
Agadbam means larger than life. Yeah, my bum is so big I can't, maybe
Fit in that chair?
in this chair.
So what was that story? Because that was like a big hit, wasn't it?
It's I got a nomination in Guinness Book of World Record for that because I worked for like 26 hours in prosthetic makeup. I did the prosthetic makeup on me, and it's story about two children where they fixed their marriage in childhood. And when they grown up, boy don't know about that girl that she is now 250 kg woman, and he married that woman. And how?
But he had to marry her, right?
Yeah,
he
he
was
had
fixed
to
up.
be because it's already fixed up.
Right.
And he married that girl, and how he hate that girl, but she is so nice human being. She is so taking care of him, and she is so lovable that he accept that girl as how she is. That is the story.
So one of the things you're classified, and when I read this, I didn't understand it, as a Marathi actress.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
My language is Marathi. I'm from Maharashtra. Maharashtra is one state in India, and I'm from there. And we talked in Marathi language.
What is it so different than everything else?
Hundreds languages
Is
in
there? Are
India.
there?
Every state have their own language, and every state have their so many language inside the state also.
But when we talk about like these big Bollywood extravaganzas, what do they speak in or sing in?
They speak in Hindi.
They do.
Yeah, they speak in Hindi, and because we are regional movies, so we speak our regional language.
So if they speak in Hindi and they come to your community, do you understand what's going on?
Obviously, because the Bollywood film made in Mumbai, in Bombay, and Bombay is the capital of Maharashtra.
Oh, it is of where you are. I
yeah.
see.
So actually, we as a filmmaker, Marathi filmmaker, we have our whole community have a big challenge to prove yourself, prove your film there up to the mark with the Bollywood and the Hollywood, because Hollywood films also released in Bombay, Bollywood film also released in the Bombay,
But
and
those are competitive.
yeah, they are the competitors.
I see. They're your competition.
And they have the 150 crores and so many million. They have the budget, and we have a very little budget, like one CR 50 lakhs rupees, like something.
But you have a small budget because that's the kind of independent film you're making.
Yeah,
because that's your production.
Yeah, because our audience is only that state, so only the.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, because Marathi language only Maharashtra state understand.
But then how did it come to America? Because now we're talking. First, we were talking about what was it? Agadbam.
Yeah.
And then that goes into touring talkies.
No, after that I did Hello Jai Hind.
Oh, that was Hello Jai.
Yeah,
okay.
I made movie against Kasab, who attacked on Taj Hotel.
Yes.
26/11 that happened.
Right.
Terrorism attack.
Right. It was a movie about that?
Yeah, I made one movie against that.
So it was very serious.
Yeah, it is. I gave the statement there that we have to hang that person. Why we are, preserve him in our country.
That was very serious, and the other one was
very comedy.
Was a comedy.
Yeah, very comedy. And my fourth film is Touring Talkies.
So touring talkies, I think, is tell the story of touring talkies because it's very interesting.
Yeah, Touring Talkies is about traveling cinema. The story of the Touring Talkies, that one girl, because the Touring Talkies is the business of men business. Women cannot do that business because they should go out of the home for 8 months or 9 months. They just go village to village, and they did their shows for 10 days, 15 days, after next village, like that. So woman is not.
She can't travel.
She can't travel, and because they live in open place.
I see.
So there is no security and nothing. So this girl.
You mean when these movies go from?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So they are running movie in the tent. They have one truck, and that truck's cabin, behind that cabin, they put the projector. And they park truck in the tent, and in the tent they have the screener, and people sit on the floor and they watch film.
Did they take the tent with them, or is the tent there?
Yeah, what?
Do they take the tent?
Tent, yeah.
They take it with them?
Yeah, tent is, they
Rolled
just
up?
wrapped it
Yeah,
tent and
okay.
they just put on the
I
truck.
got it, okay.
And they went go village to village.
So
like
it's
that.
all like a little compartmentalized thing.
Yeah,
they have
yeah,
the
yeah.
tent and the screen.
Screening,
and
everything.
the-
Everything is
and the
foldable.
camera.
Yeah,
Okay.
and projector. So this story is about one girl who is owner of the touring talkies, and that's why she is
she's
not
the owner.
Yeah, and she is not look like a girl. Like that's why I did, my hair was this much big. I cut my hair and make it zero cut.
But it sounds like something you would do because it's more from a more business-like situation.
Yeah,
She's a business, right?
Because her mother died. She have one father who's always drunker. She have one small brother.
Yeah.
And that's why she supposed to do that business, and
That's her
because that
business.
is the bread butter for her,
I see.
and not only bread butter. That is the passion for her.
Do you dress as a man too?
Yeah. So I only one dress I use in whole movie.
Oh, you do?
Yeah,
No
because
costuming.
and because they don't have that much money, and they don't have water also there to wash the cloth, and I cut the hair, and I didn't wash my hair for 15 days.
But that's very interesting
Yeah.
because no one knows that type of a project. Did you go from city to city, or did you do it all in one place?
No.
You did it all
We
in one
shot
place?
complete Maharashtra state.
You did?
Yeah, because how the touring talkers travel village to village, that we did.
And so they pay to come to the tent.
Yeah,
Is it the same movie from village to village?
Yeah, same movie they took, and they do the village to village for whole year. Then next year another movie, like 2-3 movie they buy it,
Oh, they
and they
did.
run this kind of theater, the moving theaters.
And did you write it? Did you write it?
Actually, this movie is it's my own experience. In 2007, when I took a loan, 80 lakhs rupees, because of how I said to you that when I want to do something, but people don't want to give me work. So that time I decided to make our own film and do work in it. So I took loan, and 60 lakhs rupees for me, because I'm middle class, from middle class family. It's huge amount for me. And I made one movie, and that movie is completely flop in the city.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, it was complete flop, and I didn't understand what to do. And then one person came and he said, "Your film you can run your film in a touring talkies." And then I went there and I saw the whole new world.
And that was a true, this is true? This
Yeah,
is
this
what
is the
happened to
true.
you? How
Yeah.
you start?
Yeah.
How you wrote the story?
Yeah, and there I went there and I project my film there, and there also my film didn't work. Only 10 people came in the tent. And then I understand how is the publicity, how is the marketing. Then I
Yes.
went out and I saw the people they have the big hoardings with the fire, with the blood. The daughter-in-law is, cutting her mother-in-law is fighting with the daughter-in-law, and there is a goddess.
Big
there
drama.
There is a snake lady,
Oh.
and all this kind of film. So I went to the city, and because my hoarding, my film hoarding is very simple. My hero is like standing like this, and I was like this, lying to him. So I said, oh my God, this hoarding is the problem. I have to make how the people are here, how
Right.
they have the taste for a film.
Right.
Then I went to the city and I just took some DVDs. And I cut the one heroine's face, where she hold one sword and she have one child behind her. I cut her face and I put my face there. Like that, I made one big hoarding which is not my story. I took there.
Oh, you just made this.
Yeah, fire and blood and everything. And after that, I saw that my film is running there. In my tent, 150 people are come.
Really?
Yeah, so
How many people does a tent hold?
they have this kind of tent.
How big? How many?
Oh, 3,000 people can
Oh,
sit
you're
inside.
kidding.
Yeah.
And you had 10 the first time?
And only 10 people are there. And when I changed that hoarding, 150 people came and sit in my tent, and they are watching film. And because of that hoarding, which I changed, then I went to the flick market and I just buy some TV which not going to
Right.
on after this, and some radio, and like very small money I buy, and I took one showcase front of the touring talkies, and I made some pamphlets and I gave to everyone that if you will buy this film ticket, you will get TV, you will get fridge, you will get washing machine.
So
like
you
that.
really had to market your film.
Yeah, and
you
I
made a
did.
big success out
And
of it.
I made money there.
Oh, I'm so glad you came and told us, because who would ever know what touring talkies
Touring
was?
talkers.
Oh, Trupti, thank you for coming.
Thank you very
Trupti.
much. Trupti.
Trupti, I'm so glad you came. Thank you.
Thank you.
And thanks for watching the Joan Quinn Profiles. Keep writing to JAQUINN1 at AOL.com. Bye.